And we do start with Naivasha in Nakuru County, where today is the last day of the cabinet retreat, where cabinet secretaries, permanent secretaries, as well as senior government officials are there to review the government's performance and also see what to be looking out for the next year, 2024. And I mean, this is something that started as early in the week. President William Ruto began this particular second annual retreat on the same, the National Executive Retreat, marking in Naivasha, Nakuru County, expected to review the performance of the Kenya Kwanza administration. We're hoping to get Willie Dennis Njiru from Naivasha just to tell us how the whole week has been and how this retreat has been. You did see members of parliament there being slammed for not being loyal, per se, by the Kenya Kwanza plans. We'll also be getting to understand what has been happening in that particular county. Also today, and even in matters counties, the governors are also there just to understand what they said in the papers. That is the first page of our diary. Let's cross over from Naivasha to Bunge, right here in Nairobi, and following the adoption of the National Dialogue Committee and what the happenings of Bunge, we expect the debating on the various recommendations of the National Dialogue Committee. Real quick, also taking a look at news diaries, we'll flip it with you. The Law Society of Kenya is expected to hold a debate for candidates seeking to fill both the presidential post as well as male representative to the Judicial Service Commission, who are about to. So this particular presidential and as well as male representative slots elections will be slated and will happen next week, the last day on around Thursday there. As well as the national campaign against the whole National Prevention Week. We were having a conversation on it earlier. But let's now go to Naivasha, where Willie Dennis Njiru is. And as I was alluding earlier, the CSs, PSs, as well as senior government officials are there. This is the last day. So this is one of the most important days just to understand what was said and what has been said. Willie Dennis Njiru, a very good morning to you. What should we be seeing from Naivasha today as the last day of that retreat?
Thank you very much, Stanley Nyaringita. Just as you have alluded to that fact that the president is here for the third day in a row, and today, any moment from now, he could be finalizing on his 3 days retreat that was just a bumper to bumper in a quest to find what is good for you and me as citizens of this country. You remember the first day, there was the MPs who were here with the CSAs and the PSAs and hosted by the president. Yesterday, a similar occurrence was here, and committees, and today we have the PSS and CSS only who are just locked in, just in an adjacent building from where we are. And it is going to be a busy day for the president, who has to leave this to other commitments and other assignments in the country. But we are told by our informers that the president, of course, has good news for the citizens of this country in what he is going to be telling the citizens. Any moment from now, the president, it is said, he could be speaking to the nation, perhaps live or pre-recorded, in regard to a summary up of what it has been around here. You remember yesterday the Finance CS was here, and he did allude to the fact that the nation had indeed grown by 5.6%, and this has been greatly attributed to a lot of input in the agriculture sector, that the president is well focused on it to ensure that the diversification and more to have more integrated inputs in the agriculture sector to ensure that we have better results. More about his foreign trips as well in the day that was there before yesterday, and he did allude to the fact that his foreign trips were indeed a good thing for the citizens of this country, and asked their legislatures to assist the president to deliver on his promises to the citizens of this country, and warn them if they don't live up to it, then they have it to lose. And the Prime Cabinet Secretary, that is Musalia Mudavadi, also did echo the sentiments by the president there that regard the development structures across the divide in most of the ministries here in the country, and they all have agreed that we are moving in a positive direction, in an upward trajectory, which is going to be a good thing for the citizens of this country. What the president has in store for us, everybody is curious and waiting to hear from what he has said. You remember also before, that is the day that was there before yesterday, Kimani Ichung'wah also alluded to the same fact, and they have indeed also brought in the issues about supporting the Azimio leader Raila Odinga in his quest for vying the AU chairmanship, which is a good thing. We are going to be seeing dominate the space in the recent days, in the coming days before we all sum it up. What comes from here, we are going to be bringing it to our viewers later on. Stanley, that is it from me here as at now. And you see it's quite sunny here. I hope where you are it's quite cool. You could go out and have some fun. That is it from me here in Naivasha. I take it back to you, Stanley, in our studios in the capital city.
Right, asante sana Willie Dennis Njiru, and definitely, as he is saying, it's definitely not as cool as you'd be expecting right here in Nairobi, but I can see it's quite hot in Naivasha. Asante sana Willie Dennis Njiru. Will be definitely coming back to you later on in our subsequent bulletins to see how that cabinet retreat has been. But then, speaking of matters, how hot it is in Naivasha. How hot is it from where you are? And I'd like to invite our environment reporter, Sheila Chilangat. Sheila, karibu sana. And just to tell us, good morning.
Good morning, Stanley. How are you?
Nko salama sana. It's been a while since we had you around here.
Absolutely. I have missed this set. I have missed you as well. And,
oh, yes.
It's great to be back.
Oh, yes. On a light note, I mean, they're saying probably we were calling people they are hot during the Valentine's Day. So maybe that's why we're having...
There's a lot of hotness going around, I know, right? And Willie Dennis just saying, it's hot on their end, it's sunny, but at least they had a little bit of rainfall yesterday evening. This heat that is happening has caused a lot of, reactions on social media. Everyone is wondering, are we baking in some oven here in Nairobi?
Amani pressure cooker.
Amani pressure cooker, or has Nairobi been brought, closer to the sun and all? And, it's coming at a time where Kenya just came out of the El Nino effect, and then suddenly we saw the butterflies, and now everyone is wondering, is this heat usual because of all those factors that have preceded before what we are seeing just this month? So it's, according to scientists first, it's no cause of alarm, because these high temperatures in the month of February and March normally records high temperatures. It might not have been this hot, but it has always been hot, because we are waiting for now the onset of the long rains, which will happen in April. So normally the months of February and March do record high temperatures, yes.
So getting into March, it might even get hotter?
Well, climate change, plays a part in this. It might get hotter, and this is because also, January was recorded as the hottest month yet, across the world. And it comes from now a year that we came from 2023, which was recorded as the hottest year. And scientists now are saying that we might even actually cross the 1.5 degrees Celsius ceiling this year. This year alone might surpass that in various parts of the world.
Right. Remember, you can always be part of this conversation. You're asking you, what are you doing to cope with the high temperatures? Quite a number of feedback. Pale Facebook, I'll be trying to filter some of them. Even as we take a look at some of the areas, I want on our screens there, we take a look at a couple of weather and how it is in different places. So that's in Nairobi, 21 degrees Celsius.
At the moment.
But it says 24 degrees Celsius. Director ananiambia nitumie venye hii set iko tukaribia hapa tuone 24 degrees Celsius as it is. It's about to get as hot as 28
degrees.
in Nairobi.
And actually, Nairobi yesterday did hit 32 degrees Celsius. So today, we might even see hotter than that.
And it's 9:41.
Yes.
So this is today. Thursday promises to get a little as 27. Maybe the temperatures might decrease kidogo. Alafu weekend 28 ipande kidogo.
Yes, but Stanley, as even you say that, you can see that during the night, there will be actually higher temperatures. Temperatures of 18 degrees Celsius, 17, those are actually very high. And I know people are wondering, why are we having, warmer nights as well? Now, the reason, according to scientists and we spoke to from the Kenya Met, they say that during the night, there is heat that was heat during the day. There was heat during the day, yeah? So heat was stored in the ground during the night. So what happens now, it has to go somewhere. So at night is when it's being released, and it's not able to be released at a, faster rate. So then we are having those warmer nights.
Right. That's why our duvets tunaweka mbali for now.
For now, itabidi.
So that's in Nairobi. Yeah. Let's see how things are different. So this is Kisumu in 20 degrees Celsius. Let me refresh that and see. 9:40 a.m. That's about 24 degrees Celsius. But it says it feels like 26 degrees Celsius.
At the moment. Yes. But, this area is one that is always hot because they have the water body, Lake Victoria. So what happens in these areas, there's a lot of water vapor in the air and in the atmosphere. Now, when it evaporates, we get what is called the greenhouse effect. It evaporates because of the atmospheric, evaporation. And then we have a lot of it reflected back due to the radiations, and then it causes now the greenhouse effect. It's very hot on the lands.
Oh, yes. And on your screens, you can see the areas likely to experience rising temperatures. And part of it they have there, parts of northern Kenya, is where I want to cross over next. And see where Turkana is at right now.
Now, all those areas you're seeing on the screen will actually surpass 30 degrees Celsius during the daytime. So those are like Nairobi, which the ones that are very unusual is Nairobi. We're looking at Kiambu, we're looking at Embu, we're looking at Laikipia, Tharaka-Nithi, Makueni, Machakos. Machakos is hot, but as well, the heat, the 30 degrees Celsius is very high for that area. And we'll be having Samburu, parts of Kajiado, and then parts of coastal area, that is Taita Taveta, Kilifi, Nairobi, not Nairobi, Mombasa, because right now, Mombasa and Nairobi, same what's up. And then now we will be having also parts of, the northeastern region, Wajir, Garissa, Mandera. Yes, and they're actually recording very high temperatures of up to 38 degrees Celsius during the day. That is excessive. Right.
And actually, as you say, the excessive heat in Mombasa, it's about 30 degrees Celsius. I want to take a look at in Turkana and see how things are. Turkana is the same as Mombasa, 30 degrees Celsius.
But it feels like 32 degrees Celsius, meaning it's very hot in these areas.
Oh, yes. Promises to get as hot as 36 degrees Celsius.
Absolutely. And when you look at it, even at night, they'll be having very high temperatures of 27, 26, 26. That is now the heat that we're actually feeling today in Nairobi at this moment. Absolutely.
Wow. What are you guys doing in Turkana to cope with all this? Let's see what the Kenya Meteorological Department is saying on all this, just to understand. So this is what you were taking a look at earlier?
Yes. The parts that are very red, it means that now those are the most hot parts. So the hottest parts. So those are the likes of Wajir, Marsabit, Turkana, Garissa, and you can see also Tana River. And then we have the orange. These places that are having orange would not normally have these types of heat. So Embu, Kirinyaga, Murang'a, Machakos, Makueni, Kajiado. Right. Now, it's very hot. Again, scientists also say that apparently at this moment, the sun is directly at the equator. Now, with it being at the equator, it means that the surface area that the sun is, the surface area of the radiations from the sun is small, causing warmer days and warmer temperatures and warmer nights.
Right.
Absolutely.
Let's so that's, you've mentioned that Elgeyo Marakwet was Pokot as well as Bungoma. Let's see also more on the forecast that they're having. So they have for yesterday all the way to the 26th, and they say we should be expecting sun and dry weather across most of the country.
Yes, sunny and dry weather, but it's not all sunny and dry across every other part of the country. There's some areas that will receive light and moderate rainfall. That's parts of like the Lake Victoria Basin. We'll have the east and west of the Rift Valley, as well as the southeastern lowlands. They might actually have light, moderate rainfall. Because yesterday we were speaking with our correspondent from Kisii. He actually told me it was about 3 p.m. and it was raining in that particular area. Kericho County as well.
Where come from? It's always raining.
It has to rain. Kericho County as well. By mida za saa 11 hivi, it was raining at that particular area. So it is not all sunny and dry, but sunny and dry, especially during the daytime.
Right.
Yes.
The other one is saying we bundle up warmly.
Really? In as much as it is hot.
For the cooler nights, though.
No, with now the heat, it comes with side effects. So what are some of the side effects? Nausea, dizziness. Some will be fainting because it's too hot. So then what do you do to avoid all that? What are the precautions you should take? Now, it starts from taking a lot of water. How many glasses of water have you taken today, Stanley?
Nile moja niko pale nye. My producer helped me with.
Yeah, so you have
I'm hoping to have more.
You have to ensure that you're fully hydrated at this moment. And then also you have to put your sunscreens on because now, being that we are having so much radiation, it could be dangerous for your skin.
Even for us as dark as we are?
Yes, absolutely. Because the UV rays, it doesn't choose. So everyone must at least learn to make use of sunscreens. Also, you have to wear light, breathable clothing.
Right.
Do not bundle yourself in clothes that are not breathable. They should be like by what 10. Get rid of that tie. Yes, and also avoid taking excessive proteins because protein, when you take a lot of protein, for instance, meat, beans, it makes the body generate a lot of heat.
Interesting.
So then if you're taking all that and with this heat, it will be, detrimental for you. Also, you just have to ensure that you're staying indoors whenever possible. Penye si possible, pia ensure you have a mwavuli, just to protect yourself from the radiations and from the sun.
Gentlemen, I don't know how possible it is to walk around with a mwavuli, the kind of toxic masculinity one would have.
No, you should at least try. For the benefit of yourself, do try.
Oh, yes. Even as my department says, make sure you stay hydrated and protect yourself from the sun's rays during the hot days. But we are curious, what are you doing to cope up with the whole hot temperatures that are going around? Even as we wrap it up on matters hot, anything that we should be expecting today?
Today, in terms of the county diary, we have not Mackenzie. We have the retreat that is ongoing in Naivasha. Apart from that, we have a session at the low courts, Kahawa low courts. Apparently, there were Ethiopian refugees that were found in some house bundle somewhere. So they have been brought up to court, and we are looking forward to see what their plea will be.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Shule Chilangat. Keep talking to us on our socials. What are you doing to make sure that you are uko sawa sawa? Kevin Smith says, yes, we're experiencing high temperatures here in Mombasa. It is very hot at night and we are sleeping outside. At daytime, in the evening, most people are on the beach. Probably ni wakati wa kwenda beach pale. But let's go to Bunge and Parliament and listen into what is happening.
That the members get into a position to be able to vote. As you can see, that is the Senate Majority Leader, Honorable Aaron Cheriot, of course, counting the numbers of the members in the chambers. What is needed is that the House has to have quorum during the voting or division stage. This is pursuant to the House Standing Order number 42. It indicates that if from the number of senators taking part in electronic vote or roll call division, it appears that the senators do not themselves constitute a quorum, the vote or division shall be invalid and the business then under consideration shall be stood over until the next sitting, and the Speaker shall proceed as if his or her attention had been drawn to the absence of a quorum. But if after so proceeding a quorum is then present, the next business shall be entered upon. So basically what we are seeing now is that members will be expected to walk into the chambers. As you can see at the door, we have seen a number of members, of course, getting into the chambers. On normal occasions at the beginning of House business, a number of 15 members are required inside the chambers, but during division or voting, there has to be about 24, 25 members, so that the decision that will be made with regards to that business that will be being voted upon then will be substantiated by a good number of members. So a division break is on. Of course, this is to enable or allow the members who may be within the precincts of the chambers but not inside the chambers then to make their way at or rather inside the chambers, and those are members walking in. That's the yeah, and of course we have been seeing the process of whipping members from outside, of course, to walk in, to get into the chambers. These are 7 bills that debate already were concluded, or debate already was concluded at the Committee of the Whole House stage, and as per the tradition is that once a bill or debate is concluded on a bill, then of course there are usually recommendations or amendments or proposals to a number of clauses on those bills, and in this manner then there requires the division process or the voting process, and this is to make it clear on whether the members will be accepting or refusing the amendments or proposals or recommendations that have been forwarded by various members or even committees on, or rather with regards to the clauses in those bills. So this morning, 7 bills are lined up for division, and
Right, happenings on the Senate, even as they prepare for the order of business there. Stick around. Also matters affordable housing and all that.
Yes.
Much more happening.
It is getting hotter, and I'm wondering, because you've been telling people how hot you are for months, how are you coping with the current heat?
I don't need to tell them how hot I am.
How are hot people surviving? How are you coping with this hot weather? That was the question today, and I can see you have some feedback.
Oh, yes, quite plenty. I think we can start with Vani Wiz says going to the river and cooking over there. Florence Wanga, taking enough water for the day, taking a cold shower. Serana Jason, dipping myself in the river every time I feel hot. Esther Onjiku says, I've become a fish. Hey, they're quite many. I'm looking for quite long ones.
Now, there's one I heard you mention about using a motorbike instead of a car.
Yes.
And I thought that is actually brilliant.
Oh,
It's
yes.
a brilliant idea.
Oh, yes. Well, Rob Kipto drinking a lot of water and to avoid dehydration.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Hizi temperatures watu wanashinda kusema ziko pande gani ya nchi juu mimi nalala na duve mbili. Willy Kais. Willy Kais, where are you watching us from?
Uko wapi?
Oh, yes. Mr. Overdose says here in South Rift, there's nothing like high temperature. Ni baridi na mvua nyingi. Nashangaa kwani niko nchi tofauti.
Interesting.
Oh, yes. Julius Sifuna, drinking a lot of water during the day.
Okay, drinking a lot of water. Drinking a lot of water is what everyone is being told. Please take lots of water. Stay hydrated. Even the weatherman says, kunywa maji.
Cheers for that.
Kunywa maji.
Oh, yes.
Well, the conversation continues online, and of course you can tell us how you're coping with this abnormally warm temperatures. On X, TV47 News, and on Facebook, TV47 Kenya. We'll be back here tomorrow for more on Morning Cafe. Remember, today is International Mother Language Day, so continue